They got me this new microphone. I'm really hoping it sounds better. Hope it sounds better over there because, let's be honest, last week's video, the audio sounded like sh**. So this is the video that I owe many of you. It's an idea that I've had for a while. I just never got around to it. But lately I've been on this gear idea kick where I'm just kind of showing some of the gear that I have in hopes that it might help you in thinking about what gear you might want to get next. For the past few months, I've been blessed with amazing companies just sending me some awesome gear to try out and review, and I am well aware that some of that gear is not going to be cheap. You are paying premium for premium products. For example, the Light Force HTX2s, those off-road lights run $1,400 for a pair. And then that Zero Breeze I have sitting up there, that's $700 just for the unit, and then another $700 for the battery. If I had the money, I think it's totally worth buying those things. Buy once, cry once. But I owe this video to you because I want to do a video where you can get some overlanding gear and not have it break the bank. So today we're going to break down some stuff that I kind of just pulled randomly around my garage and inside my rig that I actually bought on Amazon that to this day I am still using and loving. Because you can pretty much buy anything on Amazon. I'm not going to be including the bigger brand name stuff. Like I won't be including stuff from Frontrunner or ARB or any of those guys. I mean, yeah, you could buy their stuff on Amazon, but they also have dedicated websites for that stuff. This is more the odds and ends stuff, like the little things that I needed something right away and just popped into Amazon and looked for something and bought some of this stuff. So that's pretty much what we're going to do in this video. So let's just get to it. Starting with our bathroom. Yeah, this is our bathroom. It's basically just a pop-up changing room. They're not super expensive. They range anywhere between $20 to like $50. And it deploys really easily. You just open it up and it kind of unfolds on you, and then you just move a couple of things, then stake it down. And then putting it away, it was tricky at first until you learned the secret. Then once you got that secret down, it's easy to put back in this thing. I should have B-roll from our last trip of this thing deployed, so I'll probably show that like right now. But yeah, it works really well. You just kind of go inside and you do your business. You can change in it, you can put your toilet in it. There's even a hook inside where you can hang a toiletry bag so that you can have all of your necessities there, unless you really want to spend the money to get one of those changing rooms that kind of posts to the side of your roof rack like a awning, and it kind of opens up. Those cost a little bit more, and I really didn't want to add something like that to my roof rack, so this works for us. All right, up next is something that was gifted to me by a friend, but they bought it on Amazon, and they are 4 packable water sport towels made by a company called Monster. When I first got these, I really didn't know what to do with them. I kind of just put them in the back of the Jeep and left them there. And then one day we were at the Springs and realized we forgot to bring our towels with us. And I was like, wait a minute, I have towels in the rig. So I took them out and we have been using them ever since. And not just for our bodies, but I started just using them now as like my rags and my dish towels and whatnot. They roll away into like this really neat package, and there's also instructions on how to roll them back up, and you need those instructions because they kind of fold like this. So you have this little clasp and then it just opens up, and so it tells you how to fold it right back up so that you can get it back to this configuration. But what I really like about them is that each of these have different colors. So you get like a red one, has like a red little design on it, and then you have an orange one with like orange piping, and then you get one that has green piping and then another one that has yellow. I can now kind of designate what towel goes to what. So I can use the green one for drying dishes, I can use the red one to clean ourselves off and dry ourselves off, and then I can use another one for something else. This 4-pack comes out to $34.99, but they also have individual ones online ranging from like $10 all the way up to like $17. So there you go. All right, up next are for those of you who own power banks, more specifically a Jackery. It's basically a Jackery case, and they make different sized ones. So if you have like the Jackery 500 or the Jackery 1000, I believe they have a case for that. But if you have something that big, you're probably not going to put it in a case. You're probably just keeping it in your cargo area and plugging things to it. But for a small Jackery, like the 240, like the one that I have, this is like the perfect thing. So when you open it, this Jackery 240 fits really snugly inside. Like if you look, it's very, very compact. And then you get a bunch of organization. So you have like a mesh pocket up here, and then you have this front pocket where when you open this, you get a couple of pockets in there to put stuff in, and then you have a mesh pocket, a zippered mesh pocket down here. This thing has a bunch of cords, like not only to charge this thing back up, you also have a bunch of stuff that you're plugging into it, like your cell phone charger or, you know, your flashlight chargers, USBs, all that stuff. So what I like to do with this system is I like to keep my Jackery in here, and then anything to charge this battery with, like the AC outlet or the 12 volt socket that you plug into the vehicle, or the extension that it comes with down here, or all my chargers that I use to charge up my phones and other electronics are all up here. So everything that I need for this thing is already here without me pulling out the Jackery and then fishing around and looking for a cable to charge my phone, or looking for the cable to charge the battery back up, and I'm having to bring all this other stuff with me. It's all in one really nice package, and I just basically bring this. I bring this to the beach, I bring this when we're overlanding, I just keep this in the drawer system of the Jeep. And then on the side, you get pockets there too, so you can put stuff in this side and on this side. And then what's really cool is at the bottom, it's reinforced with this stuff, so you're not gonna damage the bottom when you're putting it down on like wood or on the floor or on the dirt or whatever. This will keep it protected. But I like having this case too because it also protects the Jackery. It's nice and soft in there, will kind of protect it from being tossed around and also getting dirt and dust inside all the ports. So I really like this a lot, and the cost for this is about $36. Correction, $29.99. $30. And rounding off the bigger items, I have the Seatback Molle system from OneTigris. OneTigris or Tigris? O-N-E-T-I-G-R-I-S. I don't know if that's pronounced Tigris or Tigris. It's just a Molle panel that you put on your seat back. This was about $29.99 for this one. I have two of them. The other one has a whole bunch of stuff already mounted to it. What I actually like to do with the other one that I have is I put all my get home stuff, right? Like in the event of a survival mode type situation, I put it all on here, like a first aid kit, you know, my radios, couple of other stuff. And in that way, in the event that I need to evacuate my vehicle and leave my vehicle, I can just unstrap this, kind of roll it up with everything in it, and then stuff it into a bag and then get the hell out. So everything that I need will be here, reachable from my back seat if I need it, but at the same time, if I need to bounce, I can just kind of unclip this whole thing and take it all with me. So good thing to have. All right, what else do I have? Oh, okay, speaking of Molle panels, Molle bags. I mean, you can get different kinds of these on Amazon really, really cheaply. I like Maxpedition. This one is not by Maxpedition. It's some generic brand, but I mean, it's a bag. Get yourself a few of these. They're great for just organization and putting them on Molle panels. All right, now here's a thing that my wife loves. Like, she says, this thing has been like the best purchase ever. I mean, forget the rooftop tent, forget the zero breeze, forget all this crazy stuff. One of my wife's favorite pieces of gear is this thing. It's just basically a broom and a dustpan, but they come apart and they go together. She uses this a lot, like in the vehicle, especially in the rooftop tent. And before we had the rooftop tent, when we had a ground tent, this is what she would use to clean that with. You know, just get all the dirt and dust and collect them in here and throw it back outside. But we're always dragging sand here in Florida. We're always dragging sand into our tents, and as you know, you're going to be dragging dust and dirt and things like that, and you want to kind of keep things clean. You can find these on Amazon as well. They're not super expensive. I'll see if I have the link for this one, but I'm sure they're not going to be like more than $10. Dude wipes. This has been a lifesaver. This one's already open. Man, listen, I didn't believe in dude wipes at first, but I am a convert now. On our last trip, when we hit the Florida Adventure Trail, I mean, it was hot. I mean, it's Florida, we're summer camping, you're gonna sweat and you're gonna stink. And if you can't necessarily shower right there and then, or if you're just in the middle of a trail and you're starting to, really reek or whatever, you get dirt all over you, these are great to kind of just give yourself a quick wipe down until you can get to a shower, right? So throughout the day, I was using a bunch of this. You can go on Amazon and buy packages of this, and they range from like a single pack of this for like, I don't know, $3 to like a pack of 20 of these for like, I don't know, $20. I don't know, you could look it up, but they dude wipes, and they have different kind of wipes online as well, but I like the scent of these, but it smells really good and it's really refreshing. Having some of these, always good to have. All right, speaking of sweat and dirt and dust and nastiness, here's something that we bought really, really cheaply, but something that a lot of people probably don't even think about, but we have used it a ton, and that is a mesh laundry bag. We like to get the mesh kind, right? Because sometimes, you're gonna get dirty, or clothes are gonna get wet, or there's sand. Like when we were in Osceola, we went camping there, there was just sand everywhere. And what this allows you to do is when you throw your clothes in there, one, if it's wet, then it's gonna dry a little bit faster. And then also if there's a lot of sand and dirt, it'll all just come through the mesh. We used to just bring like a regular garbage bag and throw everything in there. But by the time we get home, it has stunk really, really bad, or it's gotten really damp in there because there's no way for it to air dry. Having it in a mesh bag just makes that a lot easier. So throughout the trip, as we're getting changed and whatnot, we just put all of our dirty clothes in here. And then on our way home, if we know it's not really gonna rain outside, then we just throw this on top of the roof rack and strap it down, and that way it's all in here. All the stinkiness is not gonna be inside the vehicle. This is just a lot easier than carrying like a regular laundry bag or garbage bag, and it's reusable. And it doesn't take up a lot of room. So we just kind of roll this up, fold it away, and then tuck it inside one of our duffel bags, and we are good. All right, let's talk kitchen stuff. Up first is the Uco Camp Mess Kit. This is what I bring when I'm the only one going overlanding and camping with friends, and let's say my family doesn't come with me. Why I like this is because, one, it has a fork and spoon already, and it's kind of tied to it, and that's what kind of holds this whole thing together. And when you take it apart, you basically have yourself a plate and a bowl, and you are good. I also like it because I think the reason why I bought it is because it has this topo pattern on the back. They have different colors, so if you don't like this gray and taupe type of vibe, they have like greens and yellows and light blue and all that stuff. And then you can get different colors for different members of the family. That way you guys know whose belongs to whom. Whose or whom does. God, I suck at grammar. These run about $17, very compact. Honestly, if it was me and my family, I wouldn't get one for all of us, because then when you put them all together, it gets a little bulky. When it's me and my family, we have a whole different set that kind of folds down and comes together, and we have a whole cutlery set. But when it's just me, I don't need to bring all of that. I don't need 3 plates and a whole bunch of forks and spoons. I just need something for myself, and this has done the trick. All right, up next is one of my favorite tools, and they're not expensive at all. They're like $24. The Roxon Kitchen Multi-Tool. Man, this thing is awesome. You've probably seen me use this in many of my videos when I'm cooking. We have that front runner cutlery set that has a whole bunch of spatulas and knives and things like that. And when we have a lot of people, we tend to bring that. But if it's just like me and my family, this does the trick, because everything that I need is already in here. It basically comes apart. Take this apart right here. You take this apart right here. You just extend it. You got yourself basically a cooking fork, barbecue fork, and then you got yourself your spatula that extends, and then you have yourself a knife. You have a full-blown kitchen knife right there, and then you also have basically a wine opener here. So you get this, you put your cork in there, and you screw this in, and you'll be able to pop it out. So you basically get everything that you could possibly need in one little compact kit. And here's what's really great about this too, is that when you get these two and you put them together like this, you got barbecue tongs. you got barbecue tongs. I almost said thongs. I need a pair of barbecue thongs, like something I wear when I'm barbecuing while I'm holding this. And then when you're done, this whole thing just kind of collapses together again really, really easily. You just fold them back up and then you basically line it up to the grooves that are in here. That locks back into place. And you get this and that locks back into place, and there you go. Speaking of kitchen multi-tools, these were gifted to us as well, and they're multi-tool utensils. Again, we have a whole utensil set we bring, but if it's just me and my son, these are really great to have. It's basically a spoon and a fork. They come apart. There's also a bottle opener in there because everybody needs to have a bottle opener. I don't know why everybody likes to have a bottle opener. And then there's also a knife there as well. I don't know if I would use this particular knife though. I mean, it's not even that sharp. I mean, I'm sure I could sharpen it. I guess you would kind of do this and then open this up and you would cut like that. But that's why I carry pocket knives, right? So that's what we use. However, if you needed a knife, here you go. But what I like about it is that you basically have a full utensil set right here. They also come in a multitude of colors. They have green, they have black. I know there's a bunch of other colors out there. They work. I use them. They're great. But yeah, I'm trying to find the ones that are flatter and kind of joined together by magnets. I think those are going to be much better than having a couple little bulky stuff like this, because flatter stuff will just fit easier inside this little kitchen bag that I have. Speaking of kitchen bags, I use a Magpul Daka pouch, and I have a ton of these pouches everywhere. You can get these on Amazon as well. These are great, man. There's different sizes. There's some that have clear so that you can see what's inside. They range in prices depending on what size. They have different colors: tan, green, black. I think I own almost every color that they have. Super strong. The zippers are really tight, and then they have these little holes at each end so you can put a carabiner on them and hang them from somewhere. Sealed up, really nice, tough. They're not gonna rip on you. But yeah, Magpul Daka pouches, love them to death, and I'm probably gonna buy some more just because I've kind of been obsessed with their stuff. All right, I got 2 more items to share with you guys, and we're talking lights. This one is by Innofox, and they're magnetic on the back. So, okay, they basically stick on anything that's metal. You can get a pair of these for like 35 bucks, and I have 2 pairs. I recommended these to the friend that gave me those towels, and he's like, man, these lights were one of the best recommendations you could give. 1, because they're super bright, and 2, they're super handy. So sometimes when we get to camp, my wife will grab these and then just slap them onto something so she has like a work light. They're super bright, see, and then you do it one more time, it goes a little bit lower. One more time, it starts to strobe, and then one more time, it turns off. They're USB rechargeable right here. They also have a little hook in the back here so you can kind of hang them on stuff. I've hung them inside the rooftop tent. I've hung them inside the bathroom. They're just really handy, man. Like they're rechargeable, so you don't have to keep replacing the battery. You just charge them back up. These are really great too if, let's say, you get stuck somewhere at night and you need to look underneath your hood. You can just plop all of these underneath your hood, like on your hood, and then have it shine down on your engine bay. You'll be able to work. Or if you're underneath your vehicle, a lot of times when I'm working on the Jeep and it's dark out, I will just take these and go underneath my vehicle and kind of put them next to my head, and I'll be able to see what it is I'm working on without me trying to hold a flashlight in my mouth or something. I didn't realize how handy these would be until I started using them a ton. Really cool stuff to have, just to have thrown in your vehicle, and especially when you need light. Yeah, super handy. All right, and for my final item, this is something that I don't always deploy. See, the thing when we overland is we'll go hit the trails, and then at night we'll set up camp, and then the next day we're packing everything up and then hitting the trails again. So the less things to put away the next morning, the better. However, if I know I'm gonna be stationary in one campsite for a couple of nights, then I will deploy this. It's by Nite, and it's basically a clothesline slash gear line. It's basically just a line that has a bunch of carabiners attached to it. On one end you have paracord. You could tie this around a tree, or if you feel like the tree is too wide for you to go around it, then you can tie off to a branch using one of the orange part here. It's very flexible, and you basically just tie it however you want. And you basically have a line where you can hang stuff. So you can hang towels, like your dry rags or your rags that you use to, you know, wipe your dishes down with. You can hang it on here instead of just chucking it inside the vehicle. Sometimes I'll even put like my my water bottles on here, or if we were hitting the springs, then we will usually put all of our wet clothes and dry it on here. So it's basically just a great place to hang some miscellaneous items. I know some people who hang this inside their vehicle so that they don't ever have to deploy it outside. My friend Chris Chubb has this in the back of his Jeep. It's just kind of hanging there so he can kind of hang stuff on there. I'm sure you can find many different ways to use this, but it's really, really handy. Again, I don't always deploy it, but when I do, it's really, really useful. And that's pretty much it. That's some of the stuff that I've gotten on Amazon. I'm sure I have a bunch of other stuff that I just didn't get to pull out. You know what scares me, and what should scare all of us, is if we pulled a report on how much we've spent on Amazon since we opened up an account. Like, I don't even want to see that figure. I probably would have paid off my mortgage by now. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more stuff I got on Amazon. I just didn't want to make this video too long. I think every year I'll do an episode on best overlanding adventure camping gear that I've gotten on Amazon, and I'll show you what I've gotten that year. Anyway, for all this stuff, all the links are below. I will say I am not an affiliate with Amazon at all. So anything that you buy from these links below, I'm not getting anything from it. I really should set up an Amazon affiliate link though, and maybe start making back the money that I've spent with them. Now, if you found this video helpful and gave you some ideas, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and also consider supporting us on Patreon so we can continue to make more content like this. And as always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Baptism Overland. My name is Asia Sampson, and I will see you next time.